First logic associated with logical thinking being the biggest priority. The first function given the most value and is trusted as instrument of the highest precision. That's why for first logical thinking is very important. It's the most valuable thing. First logic often comes as opinionated when it delivers an opinion. It's not an opinion, but it's more like absolute truth. It makes a statements rather than having a dialogue and conversation. First logic can be described as firm, confident, independent, result-oriented, and abundant. But it also has flaws, which are being inflexible in terms of logic, being too sure, having difficulty seeing situation from different angles, having difficulty to listen and accept somebody else's opinion, and lack of questioning things that are already learned, even though they might be wrong. So here's a couple, I think, great examples of how first logic can be improved.
Because I talk with people I agree with and disagree with, and I always try to put myself in the head of the person that I disagree with. I always try to figure out how they're coming to those conclusions or where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to not be married to ideas. But I've tried really hard as I've gotten older to have less absolute opinions.
And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about absolute positions are always just a blinkered sort of subset of what's actually happening. You can't understand the world by being an extremist.
Yeah.
You've got to hold all these views in your head. So if we want to make progress, we have to understand that we don't know everything, and we have to leave things to future generations, and we can be uncertain and we can change our minds.
So here's a few tips how to develop your first logic, and in fact any logic. But for first logic, it would be especially difficult to follow these advices, but in the same time, it would be really helpful. So first, try to have less absolute opinions. Yes, opinions can be sometimes wrong, and you need to expect that. You need to expect that there could be new information that would prove that something you thought previously is absolutely true is not true anymore. And if you will be more flexible and more willing to receive this kind of information, this would be very beneficial. Try to talk less and to listen more. First logic is especially known to have this monologuous style of conversation where it likes to share its own opinion and view, but don't really listen to others. So try to listen what others have to say, ask some question, and wait until they give you full response. Avoid inserting things along the way, and allow other person to state their opinion even if you disagree with it. Which leads us to the next advice. Put yourself into the head of a person you disagree with, or at least try to. This could be a great exercise to help you be more tolerant towards others' opinions and to improve your communication and ability to have a better conversation. Very often, first logic will state that they are open to new opinions and willing to change their mind. When in practice, as soon as they hear something they disagree with, they're not willing to listen. So first you need to listen, and you need to be willing to accept the fact that you might be wrong, and that no matter how much experience or knowledge other person has, they may have valid points. And you need to be willing to give them a word and to actually really consider what they're saying. And finally, question things you already know. And this could be especially hard for the first logic because it's so confident, it's in its opinion and in being logical and understanding things. But it is very, very useful to be able to question things and try to be less sure about them, to when the new information comes, that you will be able to explore it and accept it. And it's only possible if you question things, if you question your knowledge. It is very important to do that, to be able to have as much unbiased view as possible, and not to be one-sided, and to be able to see issues from many different angles, which builds much more complete picture. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching.